Now at 10, Oklahoma lawmakers react to a state audit that shows the health department did not properly spend coronavirus-related funds. Plus, Kansas lawmakers advance a bill offering incentives to an unknown business.
A Missouri bill could make it easier for those needing physical therapy to see a professional. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with the bill's breakdown.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
An Oklahoma audit reveals some possible issues with the state's spending of coronavirus funds. Reporter Chen Doan has more.
Oklahoma State Auditor and Inspector Cindy Bird says there have been concerns of improper use of funds by the state health department. The audit's findings include there was no supporting documentation that PPE was received after payments. The state paid for PPE before receiving it, which violates the state constitution. There were one-time purchases in excess of the allowable $250,000. The Secretary for Health did not have authority to delegate purchasing authority, and there were inadequate controls regarding the PPE inventory system. Senator George Young, who is on the Health and Human Services Committee, reacts to the findings.
Even in a pandemic, those kind of decisions, you have to come back and get some other input on that. And so that surprised me that it seems like it was literally out of control.
The audit says the state is still missing more than $5.4 million in goods that were paid. As we've reported, $2.1 million was paid to PPE Supplies LLC of Tulsa for N95 masks. Records state Casey Bradford, who's an owner of PPE Supplies LLC, has only refunded a partial payment of $300,000.
And the dollar amounts are just astounding. So this is significant. I think this audit is really important.
The audit also revealed former Health Commissioner Lance Fry had a 40% annual salary increase from $215,000 in July 2020 to $335,000 in January 2021.
Governor Kevin Stitt says in a statement, quote, "Looking back today, we can acknowledge that there were technical errors while still knowing we did everything we could to protect citizens of this state during an unimaginable time," end quote. A new Kansas congressional map is likely to face court challenges. Republican lawmakers overrode the governor's veto of the redistricting plan. This is what the new map looks like. According to 538, the new map creates 3 Republican-leaning seats and 1 highly competitive seat, which is the same as the current map. But it splits Wyandotte County, which would endanger the seat of Democrat Sharice Davids. The new map also moves Lawrence into a district with conservative central and western Kansas communities. Democrats expect to challenge the lines in court. Kansas lawmakers signed off on the state's largest ever taxpayer-funded incentives program without knowing what company gets the incentives. Officials say the incentives will attract thousands of new jobs to the state, but most don't know the name of the company or what it plans to make. The bill now goes to Governor Laura Kelly. Her administration says it's pursuing a $4 billion project, but has not said what that project is. Missouri's Special House Committee on Urban Issues sends a bill to the House that addresses hair discrimination. The legislation, dubbed the Crown Act, is supported by Democrat Rachel Prouty and Republican Shamed Dogan. It would prohibit discrimination on the basis of hair texture and protective hairstyles in schools that receive state funding. Protective hairstyles, they include styles such as braids, locks, and twists. A similar bill failed to gain much traction in the legislature last year, but Prouty said she believes the language in this year's version is stronger. 14 other states have passed Crown Acts, so have several cities, including Kansas City and St. Louis. Another Missouri bill could make it easier for those needing physical therapy to see an expert without the need for a referral from their physician. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky spoke with the lawmakers sponsoring the bill and a local physical therapist on the impact the bill could have.
It's not always quick or easy trying to get a doctor's appointment, but for those needing physical therapy, that wait can be brutal.
Well, if they have an injury that's keeping them from doing things they love, that's keeping them from doing the work they need to do at their job, they need to be able to get in within 1 to 2 weeks.
Right now, physical therapists in Missouri need to have a doctor referral before treating a new patient. A state bill will be voted on in the House next week that aims to change that.
So one of the biggest problems with it is, we all know, it's hard to get into your physician, your primary care physician. It could take weeks, and oftentimes you're hurting, right? You pulled a muscle, you did whatever. So So what this does is it cuts out that loop to allow people to go directly to physical therapy, and you're also not paying to see your physician.
And that waiting period can affect the outcome of patients' recovery.
So when someone develops an injury that affects their life, they want to get seen now. They don't want to wait weeks. Helps people get treatment faster, and sometimes with brand new injuries, faster treatment means better outcomes.
Gregory says it's about a patient's right to choose the best care for themselves.
You don't have to go directly to the physical therapist, right? You can choose. You can choose to go to your physician first thinking, I don't know if it's a need for physical therapy or it could be something more.
If treatment goes longer than 10 visits or 3 weeks, then the physical therapist would need to speak with the patient's primary provider.
It's not designed to cut out physicians because they're not needed. It's designed to accelerate the situation,
giving patients the ability to choose the best option for their recovery. In Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
If the bill is approved in next week's House vote, it'll move on to the Senate. Checking in with Doug Hetty. Boy, it's been a nice week, Doug.
Yeah, it really has. Temperatures all week long have been pretty good, 50s and 60s for highs. And again, today we went into the 50s. 54 is where we topped out, 33 is where we started. Average high is 49, so 5 degrees above the normal mark for this time of the year. All right, pretty much clear skies, but clouds are going to roll in as we go through the overnight hours. We have this system, which is dropping off toward the south and to the east. It is going to drag a cold front through, so this is really going to cool us down by the time we head into the weekend. But right now, not too bad. Most of us are sitting into lower 40s. We're pretty much at our overnight low from this point on. Southerly winds will kind of keep those temperatures up. Now, by morning, we may get a few random little showers in here or sprinkles. Not a big deal. A lot of clouds for us tomorrow, but still temperatures pretty good as we push 60 during the afternoon. Changes for the weekend. We'll look at that here in just a bit.
See you then. Still ahead, Weir, Kansas residents get an update on the cleanup process at the town's Superfund site. And a Joplin business owner says he's frustrated after falling victim to several thefts with still no arrests. The EPA says they're mostly concerned about lead contamination when it comes to the Cherokee Zinc Weir Smelter Superfund site. They gave Weir residents that update tonight at an online meeting. This meeting gave residents an update on the cleanup, which is still in the investigation phase, to come up with a remediation plan.
It's very important because I feel like our community needs to be aware of this. They need to, have precautions in place for young children and our residents and our community here.
The site was added to the national priorities list in September of last year, which allows for extra funding for cleanup. A Joplin business owner says he's frustrated with the Joplin Police Department's response following a series of crimes at his businesses. Josh Marish owns Jomo Moving and Jomo Bazaar. He says in December of 2020, someone accessed the business's bank account and routing numbers. He says the person then began paying their own bills under their own name. His frustration is with the police department's response, which he says has been silent.
Both times, all I hear from the detectives is they're overworked, underpaid, and they've got, they're one person to do all this caseload and, et cetera, et cetera. And I get that. I don't disagree with that. I do think they are, underpaid and there's not enough of them in town. But it doesn't make me feel any better, as a citizen here.
Arrest says he has a warehouse where 5 catalytic converters were stolen off of his trucks. He says those cases have also not been solved. Mulberry, Kansas wins the first round of its lawsuit against oil and gas company BP. A Crawford County judge says Mulberry residents may continue their suit that claims the utility gouged them with a hefty price increase for natural gas during freezing weather last year. BP had sought to have that case dropped. Mulberry is contesting about $51,000 of a natural gas bill it received last February, a hefty amount for the Crawford County town of less than 500 people. BP yesterday announced a 2021 profit of $12.8 billion. Later, we're going to have highlights from the women's matchup with Missouri Western in sports.
Plus, we have a big storm system in the forecast. We're going to look at that coming up. Another nice day for us today. Really, temperatures all week long have been pretty good. 50s and 60s for afternoon highs. Tomorrow in general still looks pretty good, but a big cool down moves in by the weekend. And at least it's pretty short-lived because we warm right back up early next week. Thunderstorm chances Wednesday into Thursday could end with a little bit of snow. You can always get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog. That is KOAMnewsnow.com. All right, looks good. Nice live shot. We're looking at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri, but still pretty much clear skies across the region. That's going to change as we go through the night. Mid-50s for us today. We've dropped off into lower 40s. We're pretty close to our overnight low. Southerly winds will actually keep our temperatures up as we work through the overnight hours. Little breezy tonight, little breezy once again as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow. 7th range line currently outside, sitting at 42. Southerly winds at about 10. Humidity is at 58%. As we go through the overnight hours, clouds start to increase, but as of right now, we look okay. Let's track north. Here's our next storm system. Majority of this will actually track to the north and east of us, across the eastern third of the country. But we are going to get a cold front. You can see showers and snow, and a lot of this is going to stay off toward the east, but we may get a few random showers in here later on tonight into tomorrow morning. Look at the jet stream, way up in the Gulf of Alaska, into Canada, and dives in. So that's why we keep getting these fast-moving, weak little systems that have been passing through. Let's go through time. Hour by hour, clouds increase tonight. Here's 5 o'clock in the morning. Could have a few random showers or sprinkles out there early in the morning. Mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. By the noon hour, we're into the 50s. I think most of us will top out into the upper 50s. Now, the cold front's going to roll through about the noon hour, but the colder air is lagging behind it, so we're still going to go near 60. 42 to start, 54 by noon, 59 during the afternoon. A little breezy, northerly winds at about 10 to 20. Tomorrow night, a few flurries, and then we clear out late and we drop all the way down into lower 20s. And we're not going to rebound much on Saturday, only into the mid-30s for highs. Saturday night, winds switch around out of the south. This will help our temperatures warm up a little bit more by Super Bowl Sunday, but still, we're only going to be into lower 40s on Sunday. I stopped it at 5:30, right about kickoff. Nothing going on here, so if you have a Super Bowl party you're heading to, roads are going to be fine. It's just going to be a little bit chilly. Valentine's Day, mid-50s, 60s by Tuesday, 60s by Wednesday. Some showers and thunderstorms develop late Wednesday into Wednesday night and Thursday. Heavy amounts of rain from this storm system. And then as the colder air rushes in, we could get into a little bit of snow on the backside. 59 tomorrow, 37 on Saturday, 42 on Sunday, 55. Valentine's Day, and then a pair of 62s, and then 58 and dropping on Thursday.
That's all right. It's easy to forget just how nasty the weather was last week.
I know. It seems so long ago now.
It does. It really does. Thanks, Doug. Hey, Valentine's Day is coming up pretty soon. It's going to be Monday, and if you haven't yet, you probably at least want to start thinking about maybe buying something for that special someone. Flowers, candy, a card, something. Flowers, of course, are a very popular option. According to the National Retail Federation, they're the third most common gift consumers plan to give this Valentine's Day. Flower spending increased by $300 million from just a year ago. Now, where to buy those flowers? Well, you might consider shopping local, somewhere like Countryside Florist in Joplin.
My family's business is very important to me. I'm the fourth generation, and when I first started working here, I could tell instantly that there were a lot of people that really trusted them to do their flowers, and a lot of relationships that they formed over the years, and I'd like to do everything that I can to help continue that legacy.
Another option to show off your love for your love, you can submit a photo of the two of you to our Cute Couples Photo Gallery. You can find it at KOAMnewsnow.com/photo. Pittsburg Chamber of Commerce is getting a new look. They unveiled the progress of ongoing renovations today. The Chamber building is being remodeled inside and out. 2 new offices are being added. It should all be wrapped up in around a month. Officials say the new look will be a mix of historic and modern.
For a small nonprofit like us, it's a big leap, a big project for us. But at the same time, this community has been great about supporting us. So we want to show our commitment to the community by making sure that the Welcome Center gives a great first impression of Pittsburgh and the surrounding area.
Chamber officials say the city is covering part of the renovation cost, but most of the funding is through the private sector. Coming up in sports, a Baxter Springs standout pitcher signs to continue his career at a local college. And Missouri Southern aims for their 10th straight win in an MIAA showdown against Missouri Western. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Well, both Pittsburg State and Missouri Southern are at home tonight for MIAA League doubleheaders. Now, the Lions welcome in the Missouri Western Griffins this evening. On the women's side, this one is a big one. Western is 12-3 in the MIAA, ranked number 21 in the country. Southern has won 9 in a row and is 13-3 in the league. Brooke Stauffer gets the Lions started, hits the 3. Big first half for Stauffer. She finishes with 12. Then Lacey Stokes changes speed here, gets the bucket for 2. Stokes again, it's kind of what she does, man. Gets the steal. Then on the other end, step back and hits the jumper. 24 points, 6 assists, and 6 steals for the freshman. 23-21 after 1. The second quarter, Western sticking around. Brianna Budgets makes the layup. Later though, Lane Skiles knocks down the triple here. Skiles really good tonight for the Lions. They're up 2 at halftime, and we'll go back to Skiles in the third. 17 points and a team high 7 rebounds tonight for Lane Skiles. Lions don't look back from there. Huge win for Southern over Missouri Western, 71-57.
Even at the beginning of the game and the third quarter, like our saying is punch first. So we were ready for anything that they threw at us.
I think it just kind of proves that like we're a team that deserves some respect, you know. I mean, we've been at the bottom for a while, and now, you know, we're at the top and we're winning these games that, you know, people probably don't think we should be. And to continue to do that and keep going on the streak, it just proves more and more that, you know, we are a good basketball team.
After that, the Missouri Southern men hit the floor against Western, aiming for their 4th win in 6 games. A few minutes in, Alex Jones knocks it down the jumper. Then off the steal, Avery Taggart to Stan Scott. I love Stan Scott dunks, man. And the foul. 3-point play there. Now Southern with the lead. Taggart working in the paint, turns and puts it in. And back to work. Taggart, no-look pass here to Christian Bundy. Bundy, Taggart, and Stan Scott all finished with 17 points. Missouri Southern rolls by Western tonight, 78-68. As for the Pittsburg State Gorillas, they're also at home tonight, facing the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats. The Pitt State women try to earn the season split with the Bearcats after falling 66-62 in Maryville back in January. The Gorillas enter the night even 8-8 record in the MIAA. They're 13-9 overall. They were down early, but here Sydney Crane finds Jamie Jackson. She hits the 3. 11 for Jackson in the first half. Gorillas up 2 at the break. Then the third, freshman Sydney Holmes working in the paint. Holmes, nice night. 14 points, 7 rebounds. Pitt State up 3 going to the 4th. Now final period, closing time here. And who else but Tristan Gegg scores and the foul. Then Gegg, nice move and the jumper. She scores 18, including 7 in the 4th. But Jamie Jackson, she was great all night. Leads the way for the Gorillas with 20 points. Pitt State wins a good one tonight, 66-62. This is the Missouri Southern game that we just showed a little bit ago. Can we move on to the next thing, please? We already showed them. They won. Baxter Springs High School Baseball is sending yet another player to the college game today. Cameron Williamson signs today to stay in Southeast Kansas, continue his career at Neosho County. Williamson was an all-state pick for Baxter Springs last season. He can kind of do it all. At the plate, Williamson hit .446 with 7 doubles, driving in 27 runs in 20 games. He was 4-0 on the mound with a .309 ERA. Here he is on his decision to head to Chanute.
The facilities are great. I went to the indoor through bullpen. It was very nice. Then after that, went to the clubhouse, showed me all their uniforms, and or they have a lot. I think it's 18, but yeah, it was very nice facilities. I'm pretty excited for it to be close to home because I got a lot of people that love to support me, and I love that everyone comes to support me and watch my games and stuff like that, so that'll be nice.
All right, we're going to try to get you those Pittsburg State men's highlights against the second-ranked Northwest Missouri State Bearcats in just a moment. Now let's get to it. The Gorilla men trying to knock off, like I said, one of the best teams in the country facing Northwest Missouri State Bearcats. They're coming off a loss. Now West Dreamer, deep ball for the Bearcats. 13-4 run to open up the game for Northwest. Other end, check this out. Good ball movement from the Gorillas. Cameron Hufner finishes. Hufner scores 11. Then we had a little history. Trevor Hudgens hits the 3 ball for Northwest. That one is a new MIAA single season record, his 119th 3 of the year. Right before half though, Bobby Arthur Williams beats the buzzer. He scores a team high 17 for Pittsburg State. Gorillas make a second half run, but they fall tonight 80-68. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Technical Sergeant Roy Nichols served in the U.S. Army. He's from Minden Mines, Missouri, and we are proud to salute Technical Sergeant Roy Nichols, tonight's 4-state hero. You can learn about lots of other heroes from all across this area. You can also nominate a hero of your own from any era, past or present. It's very simple to do. You just go to our website, click on the link. It's KOAMnewsnow.com. Had nice weather for about a week now, and it's going to continue a bit longer.
Temperatures have been really good all week long. Tomorrow in general still looks pretty good. We do have a strong cold front that's going to roll in, so quite a bit cooler as we head into the weekend, but right back into the 60s next week.
Final sports note.
We obviously had some technical difficulties there, which was 100% my fault. But you can check out the post-game reaction from the Pitt State women on their win over Northwest Missouri on the sports page at KOAMnewsnow.com.
During the commercial break, you were blaming Dow.
Well, I can't do that publicly, right? Yeah.
I was going to say you ironed out the wrinkles just fine, but now I forget that.
Yeah, it was the people in the control room saving me.
Yes, they're very good up there. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.